How are we this wonderful evening? How are we? How is life, guys? How are the preparations so far? Hope that we are doing our level best in terms of preparations for the examination. Prepare very well, guys. Okay, so as for tonight, we will simply look at what we call the book review. As for tonight, mainly, we will look at what a book it's all about. A book review is commonly examined whenever it comes to Section B. When it comes to Section B, English Paper 1. Okay, Section B. Okay, so a book review is commonly examined it comes to English paper 1, Section B. So take note. So this question, it hasn't been tested before. So you just have to know it so that at least you will have some ideas how we do it. How are you, Lista? I hope that you're okay. I hope that you are okay, Lista. I hope you're okay. As for me, I am pushing as usual. Okay, Justin, I am very much fine. Okay. Rita, Shelista, Esther Mwale, how are we? How are we this perfect afternoon? Okay, that's perfect. So that's perfect that if we are okay, that's really perfect and nice. Okay. Guys, do we know a book review? Who knows a book review? Is it your first time hearing of a book review? Who knows a book review? Who knows a book review? Who has an idea when it comes to a book review? Oliver, how are you? We are looking at a book review. Anyone with an idea what a book review is about? What's a book review? Anyone with an idea of what the so-called book review it's all about? A book review it's about what? Anyone with an idea? Is it our first time hearing about a book review, or we have some ideas about it already? It's very much important that you understand this question very well, because this question, it is the only question now in the syllabus which has not been examined. Okay, there were two. They were together with minutes writing. So minutes writing guys came in 2021. minutes writing came in 2021. Okay, it was the first time. Okay, so minutes writing came in 2021, minutes writing. And so far in the syllabus, there is only book review, which has not been examined. Okay, we only have book review, which has not come. Okay, so for book review, it has not been examined before. So it's very much important that you do have some ideas about it. You do have ideas about it, because this question can come as a surprise question. Okay, I hope you have gotten my point, guys. It's very much important to have some ideas about it, because if you do not have ideas about this question can shock you in section B, because so far it is the only question in the syllabus which has not been examined. Okay, I want you to explain it very well, so that at least you have you know it very, very well. Okay, I want you to know it very well. Okay, are we ready, guys? We start. Are we ready? We start discussing about the so-called book review. Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready for the book review? All right. So now, guys, this is what you call a book review. A book review. If we talk about a book review, guys, take note. The first word, we have the word which is called the what? It's called the book. So the first word, it's called what? It's called the book. In this case, when we talk about a book review, the first word book, it simply means any book. Okay? Any book. So the book in this case simply means any book you have what? You have read. Okay? Any book you have read. Okay? This is called a book review. So book in this case simply means any book you have what? You have read. Any book that you have read. Okay? It can be, in this case, it can be a novel. Okay? It can be, let me say, just a normal book. Okay? Just a story book, a narrative book. Okay? Just or a normal book. It can be a novel. Okay? It can be it can be a normal book, which at least you learn something from it. Now, since we have known that when we talk about a book review, the first word from the same book review, we have the word book. So book in this case simply means any book you have read. It can be a novel, or it can be just a normal what? A normal book. So now, you have to know and understand. It is very much important that you understand that since you have read about a novel, you have read about, let me say, a normal book. You read about a novel, a certain novel, or just a normal book. Now we have the word review. Okay? We have the word review. Okay? No wonder this is called book review. You have read a book or just a normal book. Now you want to do what? Now you want to recommend it to your friend. Now you want your friend to also read it. Okay? You want to recommend it to your friend. You want to recommend this book to your what? Recommend it to your friend. Okay? You want to recommend this book to your friend. Like for example, you have read, let me say, Romeo and Juliet, and you love the novel very well. You'll be like, okay, you will want to recommend it to your what? To your friend. You will want, let me say, your friend to also read it, so that at least he or she can also know some of the things that you learned from the same what? From the same book. So in short, I can simply say a book review is a short description, okay, of a book. A book review is a short description of a book that you read. Particularly, it tells the reader what the book is all about, who wrote it, and why you think it is good or bad. Okay? A book review, in short, I can simply say, is a short description of a book that you read. Okay? It's a short description of a book that you read. It tells the reader about the book, what the book is all about, who wrote it, and why you think it is what? It is good. So, in a simple definition now, we can simply say it as what? A book review is a what? Is a short what? Is a short description. Is a short what? Description. Okay? So in this case, this is you. Okay? This is you. Okay? You have read a book. Okay? Then now, this is your friend. Okay? Now, you want your friend to have some ideas about the book that you have what? Read. So, you will want to recommend your friend to read the same book. Okay? Now, you have to write a what? A short brief, or rather a summary of this same book, so that at least your friend understands something about the same book. Let me say you have read a book about what? Let me say you have read about this novel, River what? Between. Okay? You read a novel called River what? Between. The river what? The river between. Okay? So when they ask you to write a book review, what do they want? They want you just to give a what? A short description of what this book is all about. Okay, you have to give a short description of what this book is all about. Let me say this book can have, let me say, 25 what? 25 chapters. 25 chapters. Okay, this book can have 25 chapters or 32 chapters. But what they want, when they say write a book review of this, you just have to summarize. Okay, summarize this entire, let me say, novel or story into just a short description. Okay, you just have to tell it, okay, in a short way. Just explain what this book is all about. Okay, you just have to tell someone, okay, what this book is all about. Okay, you don't have to go step by step saying that this what happened and what. No. You just have to give a short description of what the entire book is all about. Okay, you just have to give a short description of what the book is all about. It's all about. Okay. The novel, or rather a book, can be too long, okay? But if you want to give a review, you just have to pick up some main points, or rather the main theme, or rather the main message of that what? Same book or novel. You'll be like, okay, this book is about who, and they met, and this is what happened. That's a book review, okay? You are just making some reviews, okay? You are simply looking at, let me say, talking about some main areas in order for the same person to quickly what? Understands. Okay? So that's what this book review is all about. You have read the book. Okay? Now, you want to recommend it to your friend. You'll be like, okay, before you buy this book, my friend, before you buy this book is all about who and that and that. Okay? That's what the book review is all about. You want your friend to buy the same book. You want your friend to have the same book. Before your friend buys the same book, you'll be like, okay, my friend, before you buy this book is about who and who and who and who. And this friend of yours will be very much interested, Your friend will be very much interested to do what? To go and buy it. Because in order for your friend to buy this book, he or she must be what? Must have some ideas of what the book is all about. It's all about. It's like you are telling your friend. You'll be like, okay, my friend, have you read a novel called Mission to Color? Your friend will be like, Mission to Color? No, I haven't read it. So you'll be like, okay, Mission to Color, it's about a novel about so you are giving a review of what the book is all about. You are just giving a short description of what the entire book is all about, not going into details. You are just giving some reviews, or rather some short description of what the same book is all about. Okay? Or even best example, I can say you want to summarize a movie, let me say, okay, or Black Panther, you'll be like, okay, the story is like this and that and that and that and that. That's a review. Okay, that's a review, a short description of what the movie or rather a book it's all about, so that the one whom you are telling this same movie or rather story will be interested to go and what, to go and buy it or to check it out. That's what thing is all about. Have we gotten the point, guys? Have we gotten the point? So we have said a book review is a short description, of a what? Of a book. So it's a short description of a what? It's a short description of a book. So a book review is a short description of a book. So a book review is a short description of a book. Of a book. Let me say you read. Okay. A book review is a short description of a book you read. A short description of a book that you read, that's what a book review is all about. Okay? So, for you, okay, in order for a book review now to be perfect and fully, number one, the first key thing, okay, if you want to recommend a certain book that you have read, okay, these things are very much important, okay? So key things to consider, okay? So key things to know about a book review. Take note that a book review is a short description of a book you read. A short description of a book that you do what? You read. So now, in order for you to recommend the book that you read to your friend, the following things must be known. Take note that a book review is a short description of a book that you what? You read. So the following things must be known. Number one, okay, what is very much important is the title. Okay, is the title. Okay, so your friend will be like, okay, what's the title of that same book that you do what? You read. Okay, so the title. So the title plays a very important what? Role. So the title plays a very important what? Role. Then apart from a title, the author, okay, the one who wrote the same what? The same book or novel, the name of the author, it's who? The name of the author, it's who? Okay? So number one, the title must be known. Number two, the author must be known. Okay? Apart from this, the other key thing which is very much important is publish. Okay? Publish, or let me say publisher. Okay? So the title we know, an author, the person who wrote the book. Then when you talk about a publisher now, we are simply talking about what? Where this book was what? Was published. Okay? Where this book was what? Written, where it was published. Okay? So that's what the same publisher is all about. Okay? Here in Zambia, we do have these, like for example at Longman, okay? And other companies, MK, those are called what? Publishers. Okay? The ones who make sure, who publish these what? These novels. Okay? So the following things must be known. Number one, the title, publisher. And then apart from the publisher, the following things must be known also. Also the size. Okay? Also the size. Okay? How many pages? So the size in this short simply means how many pages, okay, does the same book have? How many pages does the same book what? Have? That's what when you talk about the size, how many pages does the same book what? Have? So apart from this, it's very much important that you understand it must have what? Also have the what? The availability. Where this book can be what? Found. Is it in book world? Is it in supermarkets or rather in other book what? Shops. Okay? Then now the other key thing which is very much important that one has to know is the price. of the same book. So the following things must be known very well, because if you want to recommend this book, if you want to recommend a book that you read to your friend, the following things must be known. Number one, the title. What's the title of the same book? The author, who wrote it, publisher, where was it published? Okay, was it in Lusaka, Zambia, Longman? Okay, size, how many pages, availability, where can we find the same book? Is it, let me say, in Book World or other places? Then the price, how much is the same what? Book. So the following things, they are very much important in a what? In a book what? Review. The following things are very much important. And how can you know this thing? You just have to know this acronym, which is called TAPSAP. It's called TAPSAP. Okay, it's called TAPSAP. Okay, it's called TAPSAP. Okay, so T in this case stands for the title, A stands for author, P stands for publisher, then S stands for size, then A stands for availability, then P stands for the word price. Okay, this is what you have to know. It's called TAPSAP. So TAPSAP in this case is an acronym that may be used in terms of how to know the what? Some of the things that are very much important in a book review. Okay, have we gotten the point here, guys? So book review is simply a short description of a book that you read. You read about a book which is called Romeo and Juliet. Now you want to recommend it to your friend. You'll be like, okay, before you buy this book, my friend, this book, it's all about this and that and that and that. Upon just mentioning those key things, your friend will be intrigued, or rather your friend will be interested to buy the same book because of the what? The review that you have done, you have shared to him or her. Have we gotten the point, guys? Have we gotten the point? Have we gotten something? Have we gotten something? Or is the network treating you bird? All right. So these are some of the key things that are very much important in a book what? In a book review. Some of the key things that one has to know about a book what? About a book review. So now, when we talk about the same book review, these are some of the key things that are very much important. You have to know the title, you have to know the author, you have to know the publisher, you have to know the size, you have to know the availability, simply means where this book can be what? Found. Then how much this book cost. So that's what you have to know. In order for you to know everything here, you just have to know TAPSAP. So TAPSAP is going to help you in terms of what? Remembering each and every item, or rather key concept that is needed whenever it comes to the part of the book review. So this is what it is. Now let us look at a question. Okay, let us look at a question, how it comes. Let us look at the question. Let us look at a simple question. So, a question will come like this. So, this is the question. Then they will say, you recently. So you recently read, okay, you recently read, let me say, an interesting, okay, an interesting what? So you recently read an interesting novel. An interesting novel. Okay, so you recently read an interesting novel. Let me say, which you feel, okay? Let me say, which you feel which you feel can be what? Which you feel can be recommended, which you feel can be recommended, okay? Which you feel can be recommended, which you feel can be recommended as a class reader, okay, for the Form 2, for the Form 2 students, okay? So for the Form 2 students, okay, for the Form 2 what? Students. So you recently read an interesting novel which you feel can be recommended as a class reader for the Form 2 students. Okay, then now the question will be like, write a book review of that what? Of that novel. Okay, so you recently read an interesting novel which you feel can be recommended as a class reader for the Form 2 students. Okay, for the Form 2 what? Students. Write a book review of that novel. Take note, we have said a book review is a simply what? Is a short description. Is a short description. Is a short description of a what? Of a book. A short description of a book. Okay, it's you here, the one who have read the book. Then now here we do have a what? We do have a classroom. Then now we do have the, let me say, can be the class teacher. Okay, now the book that you have read, okay, you want it, okay, to be read as okay, to be a class reader. Simply means, in simpler languages, I can simply say you want these Form 2, okay, you want these Form 2s, okay, to read it. Okay, so you read a book, okay, you read a book, a novel, which is very much interesting. Then you want the Form 2, okay, to also do what? To also read it. Okay, you are recommending it that they should do what? They should also read it. It's more like these Form 2s, they do take what? Literature in English. It's more like a novel. Okay, you are simply recommending that they should do what? They should do read this novel. Because to you, this novel was so interesting, it was so educative. So you want also these Form 2s to grasp the same knowledge that you do what? You did from the same novel. Okay, you want also them to feel what you felt about when you read the same what? The same novel. Since here it says you read an interesting, to you it was interesting. Okay, how was this same novel interesting? Okay, because you have to recommend to them. You have to give them a short description. You have to tell them a short summary of what the book is all about before they start what? Before they start reading it, they have to know something. They have to know something, okay, about the book. They cannot just go ahead and buy the book. They just have first to do what? To hear, or rather to see how this book goes about. What the book it's all about. It's all about. That's what it is here. Okay? Have we seen the question, guys? Have we seen the question? Have we seen the question? Okay. We have seen the question, right? Okay, that's perfect. So, Royd, Miriam, and Sakila, have you understood what a book review is? Have you gotten something about a book review? We have said is a short description of a book that you do what? You read a book, now you want to recommend it to your friend. You want also your friend to read it, or rather to buy it. Okay? Before your friend buys it, you have first to do what? To give him or her a short description. Okay? A short description is more like you want to bribe your friend so that he or she buys the same book. All right? That's perfect, guys. Okay, so this is how a question normally comes. So we say, you recently read an interesting novel, which you feel like can be recommended as a class reader for the Form 2 students. Write a book review of that novel. I will read once again. You recently read an interesting novel, okay, which you feel can be recommended to you. This book was so interesting. You also want the Form 2 to hear, or rather to see how interesting this book is. Okay, so as a class reader for the Form 2 students, write a book review of that what? Novel. Now let us answer now, guys. Let us answer. So the first key thing, I've said what? A book review requires 6 things. A book review requires how many things? 6 things. Anyone to tell me some of the things that a book review requires? We have said that in order for a book review to be perfect, it requires the following things. Number 1, we have said that a book review, when you want to recommend a book to someone, it must have the following things. Number 1, who can tell us the first key thing we must consider, we must write? What is the first key thing we must write? What is the first key thing we must write? The first key thing we must write? It requires a title. Apart from a title, yes, it must have a title. Apart from a title, what other thing does a book review need? Okay, a book review. Okay, author, an author. Apart from an author, don't forget, guys, TAPSAP. Don't forget the acronym TAPSAP. So the title, apart from the title, we have the author. Apart from the author, guys, we have the publisher. Okay, that's perfect, right? So needs the publisher. Okay, apart from the publisher, what other key things? There's a book review. Okay, size, that's perfect. Reader, size, okay. Apart from size, what are the key things? What are the key things? Apart from a title, author, publisher, size, then apart from size, what are the key things are needed? Availability, where we can find this. Availability, apart from availability, apart from availability, what are the key things? The price. Okay, price. So take note, guys. The following things are needed. TAPSAP. Okay, TAPSAP. Okay, TAPSAP. Don't forget. T stands for the title. A stands for the author. P stands for publisher. S stands for size. A stands for what? For availability. P stands for the word price. So we have said T stands for the title. Then A stands for the author. Author simply means the person who wrote the book. The person who wrote the book. Okay? The person who wrote the book. The person who wrote the book. We term him as the author. Okay? So TAPSAP. Okay? So A, then P in this case. Okay? It will mean what? The publisher. Okay? Where it was published. Was it in Lusaka, Zambia? Okay? Was it in Lusaka, Zambia? with a company called Longman or any other thing. So S stands for what? For size. Okay. Then A stands for what? Availability, where this book it is found. Then the last P, okay, stands for the price. So you have to know TAPSAP. So title, the name of the book. Then A stands for the author, the one who wrote the book. Then P, publisher, where this book was published. Was it in Lusaka, Zambia? Then A stands for availability, where this same book can be found. Okay? So the first key thing, this is what you have to know and also understand. And take note, these things that we're talking about, you won't be given in the question. These key things we're talking about, in the question you won't be given. That's what you have to understand. The TAPSAP here, which I'm giving you, you won't be given the TAPSAP. You just have to know this TAPSAP. Okay? Because for you to start writing, you have first to arrange these things in order. Okay? You have first to arrange these things in order. That's why now you can start now writing in paragraphs. That's why now you can start doing what? Writing in paragraphs. Okay? Remember, the rule is that you have to write 250 to 350 words. Take note. Okay? So that's what is very much important when you talk about these key things. Are we okay with the TAPSAP? Are we okay with the TAPSAP so that we start writing? Are we okay with the word TAPSAP? Is the acronym beneficial? Is the acronym interesting? Is it helpful, guys? Grace, is the TAPSAP helpful? Is the TAPSAP okay? Perfect. In this case, once it comes to section B, it will be guided. Okay? Once it comes to section B, it will be guided. But once it comes section A, okay? So A stands for availability. Availability, A stands for availability, where the same book is found. Then P stands for the price. P stands for the price. Okay, how much is the same book? A stands for the availability. Which book is this book? Which book? Okay, which shop rather? Can we find the same book? Okay, so take note that this, once it comes in section B, it will be guided. They can even give you some hints of what the novel is all about. Okay? They can even give you some hints of what the novel is all about. It comes in section B. They even give you that, okay, a book was about who and what and what. Then now you start writing. Okay? So once it comes in section B, it will be guided. They even give you, okay, let me say a brief, okay, thing about what? About the same novel. What the novel you'll be writing it's all about. Okay, what's the same novel it's all about? That's what you have to understand. Okay, in this case, they don't want you to write the exact book. Okay, you just have to come up with any book that you know, but they don't want you to write the real things, the correct thing. They just want to see how creative you are. They don't want you to start now, let me say, panicking yourself. You'll be like, okay, I don't know any book. I don't know any novel. How am I going to write it? No, just be creative. Come up with any book. Come up with any book you want. Okay? Just come up with any book. Just make a book. Okay? Just make a book. Okay? I feel like my book it will be so. Then now try now. Let me say to recommend it to your friend. Okay? In this case, they don't want you to write the real book. Okay? They don't want you to write the real book, the original book. No. Just come up with your own things. Make it creative. Make it creative. Have we gotten the point here, guys? Have we gotten the point, guys? Have we gotten the point? They don't want you to write the real book in this case. They don't want you to write the real book. Okay? They don't want you to write the real book. They just want you to become creative. Just come up with any title which is very much eye-catching or rather engaging. so that at least it will be able to grab the marker's attention. Okay? So this is how it is, guys. This is the only question which has been left in the syllabus. There were two. There was minutes writing and also book review. So minutes writing came, but the only one which has remained is book review. Okay? So book review can appear to be a surprise question to you guys. So a book review, it's new. You never see it in your paper. It's new. Okay? It's new. This topic, it's new. You never see it in any of the papers. You will never see it in any of your papers. This question is new. Okay? There were two. There was minutes writing. Now there's book review. So minutes writing came, then there's only book review, which hasn't come. So I was like, let me teach. Let me teach my guys so that at least they know. Even if it appears to be a surprise question, they'll be able to do what? To get it. It's English paper 1, my friend. English paper 1. Okay? It's English paper 1. Okay? This is what we call a book review. English paper 1. Okay? English paper 1. So let us answer now. You recently read an interesting novel which you feel like can be recommended as a class reader. For the Form 2 students, write a book review of that novel. So let us now start writing. The first key thing, write the acronym TAPSUP. So just write TAPSUP. Okay? At the corner, just write TAPSUP. In order for you to do to remember the word verb, write the word TAPSUP. So the first letter is T. Okay? You have to write what? Here at the corner on your left hand side. You have to write the word title. Okay? Like this. Like this with colonies. Like this. Like this. This is what you do. You have seen? You write the word title. We are following this acronym, so I'm going to write the title. I'll just come up with any title. Okay? All they want in this case, they don't want you to write the real book. Okay? They just want you to become creative. That's what they want. So I'll just come up with any name. I'll just say The Pearl. Like this. So this is the name of the book I read. Okay? This is the name of the book I read. Come up with anything here. All they want you is to become creative. Okay? They don't want the real book that you do you wrote. Even if you know the real book, write it. Okay? Write it. Okay? So here, this is what you do. Just come up with any name of the book. Okay? Just come up with anything. Okay? At least the title or the name of the book sounds interesting. So I'll say The Pearl. Then, after writing the title, then A stands for the what? For the author, like this. Okay? For the author, this is what I'll do. You have seen? Author. Now, who wrote this book? I'll write the name of the person now. I'm going to write the name of the person. Okay? I'm going to write the name of the person. I'll just come up with any name saying, okay, I think John Stone, like this. I'll do this. You have seen, So title, The Pearl. Author, John Stone, which means the one who wrote this. I'll say, it was John Stone. You have seen, So after T, it's title. A, it's author. Then P, it's what? Publisher. Where was this same book published? Okay? Okay? So, we will end up writing, let me say, Longman, okay? I'll say Longman Books. Okay? I'll say Longman Books. Okay? Longman Books, I'll say comma. I can end up even adding the what? The year. Or if you want, you can say Longman Books, comma, Lusaka, comma, then Longman Books, I'll simply say the year, let me say 1992. Like this. You have seen, okay? This is how it's done. So the title, I'll write it. Afterwards, the author, the name, publisher, Longman Books, comma, the now, the year. Okay? So this book was published by the Longman Books. Okay? Or you can just come up with anything here, okay? That's what it is. They just want you to become creative. Okay? Then after P, okay, we have S, which is the what? The size. Okay? The size, you have seen? The size, you simply come up, let me say it has 100 what? It has 100 pages. Okay? Simply say it has 100 what? Pages. It has 100 what? Pages. Then now after the size we have what? Availability. Availability simply means where this book can be what? Found. So availability. Okay, availability where this same book can be what? Can be found. Okay, let me say this book can be found, let me say in Book World. Let me say in Book World. Okay, I'll say in Book World. In Book World, in Lusaka, like this. You have seen? So this book can be found in Book World, Lusaka. Okay? So this is the intro. Actually, the intro in this case cost 2 to 3 marks. Okay? The intro itself, it costs 2 to 3 marks. Okay? This is what it is. This is the intro. I haven't even started writing here. This is just the intro. This is just the intro that you have to know and also understand. So title, okay, author, then publisher. We have size. Say the size, it has 100 pages. Then availability is found in what? In Book World, Lusaka. Sorry. Then now the last P is the price. Okay, is the price. Okay, is the price. Okay, is the price. How much? Okay, I can say it's 150 what? 150 kwacha, like this. Okay, this is how it is. So this part only costs 2 to 3 marks. This first part only costs 2 to 3 marks. And take note, these semicolons I'm writing, you have seen? These semicolons, these 2 dots, they must be in the same line, okay? They must be in the same line, okay? They must be following. They must be following each other. These semicolons, okay? They must be following each other. They must be in a straight line. These semicolons, okay? Once you write, they must be in the straight what? In the straight line. It is just because of space here. Okay, these semicolons, they must be in the straight what? Line. Once you write your things here, the semicolons must be in the straight line. That's what it is. Okay, have you understood here, guys? Before we even go to the paragraph thingy. Okay, right? Others, have we gotten something here? Have we gotten something? Yes, if you want this, the title, the author, you can write it in capital letters if you want, okay? If you want, you can write them in capital letters, okay? But the bad part, most of the people, they normally forget. So it's better. Capital letter T, title. Capital letter A, author. Capital letter P, publisher. Then S, like this. Others, they normally what? Forget. So now, is this part okay? So that we go into paragraphs. We are not yet done. So this part only costs 2 to 3 marks. Is this part difficult, Iwandwimwe? Is this part difficult? Guys, does this sound to be hard? Does this question sound to be hard? Is it way too hard? Grace and others. How is this question sounding? The intro part, is it okay? All right. Once you just write this part, once you are done with the tabs up, you just have to skip a line. You have to skip a line, okay? Here, guys, if you check, you have seen? Here. You have to skip a line. You have to skip a line. You have seen? But here, don't skip lines, okay? They must be in the same order. Don't skip any lines here, okay? But once you are done, you have to skip a line. Once you are done, you have to skip a line. You have to skip a line. Once you are done writing this, you just have to skip a what? To skip a line. Then now we start now writing, okay? So you skip a line. Then now let me show you now how we write in paragraphs. So take note, once you are done writing the tabs up, you have to skip a line. You have to skip a line. So once you skip, then now you can start writing, okay? You can start now writing in paragraph. You can start now writing in what? In paragraphs. Take note that your writing must be neat, okay? Must be neat. So there are those whereby who enjoy indenting, okay? There are those whereby who enjoy indenting. So after just leaving out one line, what are we going to do? The first key thing, the first paragraph, okay? So take note that the first paragraph in this case, okay? The first paragraph in this case, it must clearly, okay? It must be brief, okay? It must be brief. Take note that the first paragraph, it must be brief, okay? You just have to explain a little bit of what the novel is all about. You just have to explain, okay? Briefly, okay, what the novel is all about. You don't have to go deep, okay? You start it like this, okay? You're going to start, I will indent, okay? I will say I will leave a space. That's what it means, okay? To indent simply means to just leave a little space here, then you start. That's what it is, okay? So say, the novel, I will simply talk about this novel a little bit. I'll talk about a little bit about what? This same what? This novel, I'll talk a little bit about this novel. I'll say, the novel, this is how you start it. You say, the novel, okay? The novel there, the pair, let me say, by John, okay? So the novel, the pair, by John, okay? By John who? Stone, okay? By John Stone. Let me say, I'll say, is one of the most interesting, let me say, stories. Okay, this is how you start it. Okay, say the novel, then you name the novel. then the author by Johnston is one of the most interesting stories. Okay, stories, still going. I'll say I have ever what? I have ever read, full stop. Okay, full stop. So the novel by Johnston is one of the most interesting stories I have ever read. Okay. Now talk a little bit about the story. In the first paragraph, you just have to talk about what you mentioned, the author, and also you mention how this novel is. Is it interesting or is it bad? Okay, that's what it is here. You say the novel by John Sok is one of the most interesting stories I have ever read. Then now you talk about a little bit now about the story. You simply say the story is set. So here in this case, set simply means where this book is from. Okay, so the story is set in a poor. Okay, we can simply say the story is about, okay, poor fishing. Okay, poor fishing village in Mexico. And revolves around a young fisherman, named Kino and his wife Juana. Okay, you simply talk a little bit about what this novel is all about. Okay, so the novel by Johnston is one of the interesting stories I have ever read. The story is set in a poor fishing village in Mexico, and revolves around, or it talks about, a young fisherman named Kino and his wife Juana. That's all. Okay, so that's what it is here. That's what it is. So this is the first paragraph. Okay, so the first paragraph, you just have to talk about the author, and you simply talk about how interesting this same book is. And apart from this, where this book is set, give just a short thing what this book is all about. Say the story is set in a poor fishing village in Mexico, and it's about a young fisherman named Kino and his wife Joanna. Like this. That's what it is. Just talk about a little bit about the same novel, the main character, okay, and also including what his wife. Is the first paragraph okay? Is the first paragraph okay, guys? Is the first paragraph okay? Is the first paragraph okay? Have you gotten something when it comes to the first paragraph? Have you gotten something? So, first key thing, mention the author. You said the novel. You mentioned the novel. Okay? The novel. You mentioned the name of the novel. So, the novel, The Pearl, by Johnston, is one of the most interesting stories I have ever read. The story is set in a poor fishing village in Mexico and revolves around a young fisherman named Kino and his wife Joanna. That's what it is here. Then now in the second paragraph now, you talk now the summary of the story. You will talk about now the summary of the what? Of the story. Say Kino lives. So Kino lives a simple life. Let me say with his family. Now you simply talk about what? A brief summary of this same story. Okay, a brief summary of this same what? Story. Oh, I have to say my goodbyes. Time is up. Time is up. Time is up. Time is up. So I have a pre-recorded video. There's a video which I recorded. I will send to all those who are under my WhatsApp group. Okay, they are going to see this video. So sorry guys, time has gone. Okay, it's already 1 hour now. Okay, time has gone. Have to do something. Time has gone. Okay, so I have a video ready. I will send it to all those who are under my WhatsApp tuition. So if you want to be part and parcel, you can simply inbox me so that at least I guide you as well. I also guide you as well. Okay, I have a video already which I recorded about the same book review. I have just a short video about the same book review. I will send it on WhatsApp, in my WhatsApp group. Okay, so if you're not part and parcel of the WhatsApp group, mind you, hope most of you do have my line. This is my line, guys. If you want to have access to this novel, so 0777 37 44 44. So this is the line, guys. It's 0777 44 44. You can simply WhatsApp me so that we talk, and also I give you the video about the same book review, the entire video. I hope that the intro part of this video has really helped you guys. I hope that this video has helped you in one way or the other. Okay, was this video helpful, guys? Was this video helpful? Was it beneficial? Thank you very much. Yeah, I will save it. It's here on what? I will leave it here on WhatsApp. Okay, I will leave it here on WhatsApp. Thank you very much, guys. For questions, you can simply WhatsApp me. Then I'll also give you a sample question on this, then you try it out. Okay. This is what a book review it's all about. Thank you very much.